In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on November 4th, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Orlando Magic versus Oklahoma City Thunder. The Oklahoma City Thunder, the only unbeaten team left in the Western Conference, will aim to extend their flawless start to the season as they face off against the Orlando Magic at home on Monday night. With the Thunder on a roll, the Magic face a daunting challenge as they try to end a challenging losing streak, compounded by the difficulty of playing on the road. Orlando heads into this game missing 2 critical players, Paolo Banchero and Wendell Carter Jr., both sidelined due to injuries. Meanwhile, the Thunder are also not at full strength, as Isaiah Hartenstein and Kenrich Williams remain unavailable. However, Oklahoma City has shown resilience and depth, which has helped them maintain their winning form despite these absences. The Magic's offensive struggles began even before Banchero's injury, but with him out, their scoring has only worsened. Orlando has struggled to put up points consistently and has been particularly cold lately, a stark contrast to the Thunder, who have been dominating opponents. Given their current trajectory, it's hard to envision the Magic keeping up with the Thunder, who are riding a wave of momentum and outscoring teams across the board. Looking at the betting lines, the Thunder have covered the spread in 5 of their 6 games this season. The only exception was a narrow miss where they failed to cover by just half a point in their October 30th game against the San Antonio Spurs. On the other side, Orlando has had a poor start against the spread, standing at 2-5 for the season and failing to cover in any of their last 5 games. At home, Oklahoma City is 1-1 against the spread for the season, with their closest home win being a 12-point margin over the Spurs on Wednesday. The Thunder lead the league with an average margin of victory of -19 points against opponents, a testament to their defensive strength. Orlando's offense, already in a rebuilding phase, is unlikely to find success against one of the league's top defenses, especially without Banchero. Facing a defensive powerhouse like the Thunder is far from ideal, and on the second night of a back-to-back on the road, the Magic's offense is expected to struggle even more. Oklahoma City, meanwhile, is up against a team that may grant them more free throw opportunities than they've had thus far, which could further boost their offensive rhythm. Against a fatigued Magic team, Oklahoma City's primary focus will simply be converting their open shots, something they've done exceptionally well so far this season. The Magic's downward trend has been evident since Banchero's injury, and it's unlikely to reverse here. The Thunder not only remain undefeated this season, but have also covered the spread in 5 out of 6 games. Notably, Oklahoma City was the 4th best team in the NBA last season for covering the spread, finishing with a 56.7% cover rate. This consistency in covering the spread has made the Thunder a profitable team for bettors. Therefore, the Oklahoma City Thunder to win and cover as favorite is our full game side pick. While Oklahoma City isn't necessarily known for having the highest scoring offense in the league, their efficient ball movement generates quality scoring opportunities across the floor. The Thunder currently ranks 8th in the league in pace, averaging 106.6 possessions per game, whereas the Magic are further down the list, tied for 19th with an average of 103.3 possessions per game. Given both teams' tendencies, betting on the total points to exceed the projected line seems like a solid call, making over the projected total our full game total pick. Portland Trail Blazers versus New Orleans Pelicans. On Monday night, the Portland Trail Blazers will travel to New Orleans to face the Pelicans at the Smoothie King Center. Portland comes into this game after a tough loss to the Phoenix Suns on Saturday night. Meanwhile, the Pelicans will be on the second half of a back-to-back as they play a game on Sunday prior to meeting the Trail Blazers. This scheduling quirk might add some fatigue for New Orleans, but with the home crowd behind them, they'll be looking to make the most of this home court advantage. The Trail Blazers will again be missing key players Mattis Thybulle and Robert Williams, impacting their defensive lineup. On the other side, the Pelicans will also be without some crucial talent, including Zion Williamson, C.J. McCollum, DeJounte Murray, and Trey Murphy. However, despite these absences, the Pelicans have proven to be effective at home, winning 2 of their 3 games there, whereas the Trail Blazers have struggled on the road, losing 2 of their 3 away games. Offensively, New Orleans has a clear edge in this matchup, averaging over 120 points per game in their home contests. They're shooting impressively, hitting more than 47% of their field goals, and they excel at converting from beyond the arc while making 85% of their free throws. The Pelicans also consistently create second chance opportunities, averaging 14 offensive rebounds over their last 3 games, which could spell trouble for the Blazers' defense. Furthermore, New Orleans has been careful with ball possession at home, only turning it over around 10 times per game, while Portland's defense has allowed over 115 points per game across their last 3 outings. This defensive gap could make it challenging for the Blazers to contain the Pelicans' fast-paced, high-scoring offense. Portland's offense has been underwhelming, especially on the road, where they average just above 100 points per game. Their ball movement hasn't been fluid, and they struggle to match the Pelicans in rebounding, often failing to generate enough second-chance points. Their lack of discipline with the ball has led to frequent turnovers, which the Pelicans could exploit given they average over 11 steals per game at home. Though the Pelicans' defensive stats aren't the best, they tend to perform better defensively when playing in front of their home crowd, and the Blazers' inconsistencies in shooting likely won't put much pressure on them. While New Orleans will be on the second night of a back-to-back, Zion Williamson has looked healthy, and it's unlikely head coach Willie Green will rest him considering the injuries plaguing the Pelicans roster. Zion bounced back from a poor shooting night in a previous loss to the Golden State Warriors by hitting 14 of 20 shots against the Indiana Pacers, showing his resilience. The Pelicans are hitting 35% of their three-pointers, ranking them 15th in the league, and will need solid contributions from their bench to secure a win. Jordan Hawkins, who scored 23 points in the last game, could be instrumental in capitalizing against the Blazers, who rank among the weakest defensive teams in the NBA. While the Pelicans have not quite lived up to preseason expectations so far, this matchup is a must-win if they are serious about securing a playoff berth. Portland is struggling, and despite the Pelicans' injuries and back-to-back schedule, this is a game they should be able to control at home. There's little room for excuses here. Even with their injuries, the Pelicans need to come out strong and take advantage of their weaker opponent. Therefore, the New Orleans Pelicans to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full-game side pick. In terms of scoring trends, the Pelicans have gone over the total in 4 of their last 6 games, indicating a pattern of high-scoring affairs. Portland is averaging 106.7 points per game and plays at a fast pace, ranking 12th in the league with an average of 104.4 possessions per game. They'll face a New Orleans team that has been allowing an average of 114.9 points per game on their home floor. The Pelicans, who are putting up an impressive 124 points per game at home, rank 21st in pace with about 103 possessions per game, and their opponents, the Trail Blazers, have surrendered 115 points on average in their last 3 games. Heading into this Western Conference matchup, both teams are relatively average in terms of pace. However, New Orleans might slow down the tempo somewhat, especially with Jordan Hawkins and Brandon Ingram sharing the floor alongside Zion Williamson in the paint. With players like DeJounte Murray, C.J. McCollum, Herb Jones, and Trey Murphy out, the Pelicans will likely rely heavily on Hawkins and Brandon Boston Jr., both of whom could have solid performances against Portland's underwhelming backcourt. The Blazers currently rank 28th in offensive rating, which could make for a lower scoring game, though New Orleans' firepower, particularly from Zion and Hawkins, should help push the total score. Therefore, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Indiana Pacers versus Dallas Mavericks. The Indiana Pacers are set to face the Dallas Mavericks at the American Airlines Center on Monday night for an early season, non-conference matchup. Currently, the Pacers sit in 11th place in the Eastern Conference with a 2-4 record, and they are coming off a tough 125-118 loss to the New Orleans Pelicans on the road last Friday. Meanwhile, the Mavericks hold a 3-2 record and are 5th in the Western Conference. They will be playing the second game of a back-to-back, having just hosted the Orlando Magic on Sunday. This marks the first of 2 scheduled meetings between the Pacers and Mavericks this season. In terms of player availability, the Pacers are still without Aaron Nesmith and Isaiah Jackson, limiting their roster depth. The Mavericks, on the other hand, will again be missing Maxi Kleber and Dante Exum. Recent performance favors Dallas as they have won 3 of their last 4 home games, while the Pacers have struggled on the road, losing 3 of their 4 away games. Dallas holds a significant offensive edge at home, where they've managed to score at least 110 points in 3 of 4 games. The Mavericks are also one of the league's top rebounding teams, pulling down over 13 offensive rebounds per game, providing them with ample second-chance scoring opportunities. They take good care of the ball as well, limiting turnovers and reducing the Pacers' chances for fast break points. Indiana has struggled defensively, conceding more than 125 points per game in their last 3 outings, which suggests they may struggle to contain the Mavericks' high-powered offense. The Pacers have not performed as well offensively on the road, averaging 111 points per game away from home. Their free throw shooting has been inconsistent, and they fall short in rebounding compared to the Mavericks, which limits their chances for second-chance points. Furthermore, Indiana's turnover issues are likely to be costly, as the Mavericks averaged 9 steals per game over their last 3 outings, creating easy scoring opportunities in transition. Dallas has also shown strong defensive capabilities at home, allowing just under 107 points per game, suggesting they may be able to keep the Pacers' offense in check. The Pacers' defensive struggles are evident, and with injuries to key players like Aaron Nesmith and possibly Andrew Nembhard, they are further compromised. Facing a dynamic Mavericks offense, which excels in scoring efficiently and frequently, Indiana is likely to face significant challenges. The Mavericks, coming off a decisive victory over the Magic, are building momentum, while the Pacers continue to struggle, especially after their recent loss to a depleted Pelicans squad. Although Dallas is playing on the second night of a back-to-back, both games are at home, minimizing the fatigue factor. Given their current form and home court advantage, Dallas is expected to cover the spread as favorites, making them the stronger pick for this matchup. In terms of scoring totals, the Mavericks have gone under the total in 3 of their last 5 games. They average 111 points per game and play at one of the league's slower paces, ranking 24th with an average of 101.5 possessions per game. Despite the Pacers allowing an average of 119 points per game on the road, Dallas's slower pace may keep scoring close to their average. The Pacers, by contrast, are a faster-paced team, averaging 115.8 points per game and ranking 7th in pace with 106.7 possessions per game. However, they face a Dallas defense that is limiting opponents to just 106 points per game at home. The last few encounters between these two teams have tended toward lower scoring, with 2 of their last 3 games falling under the total. Considering these factors, betting on the game to go under the projected total seems a solid choice for this matchup. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.